Welcome back to the morning show on XO7 TV. It's Friday. That means one thing. It's This Week in Real Estate with Mr. Bob Sedora.
It is.
It is.
It is.
Friday.
Man, they just move right along.
They come every week.
They do. They do.
not
Sometimes
be
they
a
come
surprise.
quicker than others. No. I'm glad to see him because that means we get through another week. That part of it's good.
How's life?
Good.
How's business?
Slow. It's you can see it. It's slowing down. People just they're a little nervous right now. Understandable. So they're hesitant to jump into things. Life still goes on, though. People are born, people die, people move, jobs change and stuff. We've been trying to stay focused on what we can do to help here. What can I do for Marion County? What can I do for Baxter County, Mountain Home, with the chamber and things like that? And just kind of there ain't nothing I can do about what goes. I can somewhat affect Little Rock, but very, 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 very little. But some. But ain't nothing I can do in Washington.
No.
And there's nothing I can do beyond that. So deal with what's in front of you. And that's kind of where we've been at, and just trying to, if we're going to make change, let's make it here, because this is where we live. This is what we do.
And a lot of little changes make big changes.
Yeah. You got people that come from other places that are frustrated and, the way things are from where they came, and try to get them to take a deep breath. You're in God's country now, and it's going to be okay. We're going to treat you right. As long as you want to be treated right, we're going to treat you right here, and you're going to be happy, you'll be successful, and that's why you came here.
I'm going to tell a quick story, not to take
Please.
a lot of your time. Of course, I'm out mowing every evening that the rains have gone. Have seen a car pulled off to the side of the road on the bypass, and I pull over. You really just want to keep on going because you're set to get
you're
somewhere.
Be tight.
Pull over, get out, walk back, and I tap on the window, and the lady rolls the window down about this much. And I said, "Ma'am, I just wanted to see. You don't have your emergency flashers on, so I don't know if you're having an issue or if you're just on your phone." I said, "I'm not trying to be nosy, but are you okay?" She's, "Yeah, I've run out of gas." And I said, "Well, I've got a gas can. Let me go get you some gas." "No. Believe it or not, you're about the 15th person that has stopped. The first person will be back here in a few minutes with some gas.
Yep.
This is a wonderful place. I have no idea why I didn't move here sooner." And I thought, well, man.
Perfect. That's perfect. That really does say it all.
Here. Welcome here. I'm going to get back in my truck. Please turn your emergency flashers on.
Yeah, let people know.
Let people know that you're parked here for a reason. And I just went on. And, it makes you feel good about she may have been there 20 minutes. She may have been there 5 minutes.
Yeah.
She said, "You're about the 15th person that has stopped and asked me if I'm okay." And we wouldn't get that at home.
Yeah.
I said, "Well, ma'am, you have an Arkansas tag. So unless you're from down south, because you're not going to get much further north, unless you're from down south, you're not this is home.
Yep.
This is home.
But this isn't the same.
Even down south. You're
Yeah,
not gonna
right.
get it.
No, it's not the same.
But
Not the same.
that's what you're moving to.
Yes.
That's what you're coming and checking out. You're coming to, we're not Mayberry by no means, but we're the next best thing.
Yep. And that's really what you can buy. I say all the time, you can buy 3 bedrooms, 2 baths in a lot of places and have similar temperatures and things like that. But you can't buy what we have here. You can't buy the quality of life. To have 15 people pull over because somebody's pulled over on the side of the road. That's I use that. I use, people wave at you. They use all their fingers when they wave.
There are still 5.
There are still.
And they're generally turned.
Right. They're not facing themselves. Yeah. Right. And they, and we don't, sometimes we lose track of that. We forget how fortunate we are. We were going to run up to Illinois in a couple months, whatever it's going to be. And I was like, I really don't want to go that time of year. You want to go, we'll go, but let's go in this block of time and not that block of time.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to fly by the time you drive up to Springfield, waste 2 hours there, the flights get delayed, whatever,
Had to get a car.
get
had
a
to
car and
had
do
to
this and do that. Yeah, I don't mind going to Florida when we were running down there more for her mom and stuff, because it's a 2-day drive. So, but 8.5 hours up to Chicago, I'll drive.
Yeah. Yeah.
I got all my stuff, and we're good to go.
Yeah, don't pull over the side of the road headed that direction, though, because you may never
because
see
you
anybody.
you'll still be
State
you'll still be
trooper.
said they'll find a skeleton sitting in the car.
A state trooper might pull over and then give you a ticket.
Maybe you're obstructing traffic. No, but we've been. I mean, this is God's country. I mean, it really is, and we're blessed to be here. And we came here with the intention of blending in. I knew that these people that lived here were not going to change for Bob Zadora. And
People
you-
come here for a change,
Yes.
not to make a change. You're making a change in your own world, but you're not going to change this place.
Right. And we had, and that was what happened when we kind of decided that we thought we were going to do something else, and that wasn't going to be the case. And I told her, we were sitting there, and I told her, I said, I like it here. You go to Walmart, there's some tattooed up biker guy holding the door for grandma, things like that. And it's a different environment that it was kind of alien, but it was nice. If we're going to retire, this is the kind of place we want to retire to. And we did.
You come to find yourself like Norm on Cheers. I'm at the restaurant yesterday having lunch. The little waitress comes up and said, "Hey, I met your uncle the other day. I waited on him." I said, "Mine? Like, I've got one uncle left in the world, and he lives in Chicago. He's 75 years old. He don't travel much anymore." "No, I met your uncle." I said, "No, sweetheart, you didn't."
Yeah.
"Well, maybe it was your wife's uncle." Now, there's a different story.
Now that we
Yeah.
might be able to do something.
And it happened to be Tina's uncle, and she said, "About every third person that I wait on knows you."
Well, that's easy to do. That's easy to do.
So I
You
thought
do have your fingers in a lot of pies.
there's a little pie, yeah.
Yeah.
But this is hometown. This is
Well, it is.
home,
It is.
small town America.
Yeah.
We offer lots of stuff. The stuff that we don't have, you can find within an hour, hour and a half.
Exactly.
Come here.
Yeah. And that's part of the allure. You can go any place you want for lunch, but you come back home here, in your nice, safe mountain home, as it were. And it's, they have crime. There's some crime, but you have no idea what crime is. Here, you just don't. Thank God. That's a good thing. And what is here, it's generally a friend of a friend that got invited into a house, and there's going to be drugs involved in the mix someplace.
Yeah.
And that's a national thing. There really isn't as much as we want to do about it. We, as a society, need to really step up and decide what are we going to do about it. How vigorous are we going to be with treatment? How much money are we going to spend doing that? A whole nother issue.
How well are we going to enforce the penalties?
Right. And I know that there's opportunities to go for rehabs and things, and how much are we going to invest in that? So but as far as big issues here, read Facebook. You can see how few things that are issues here by all the insanity that you find on Facebook.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people with a lot of time on their hands. So, but we're happy. Life is good, and we do our little part to keep it that way, and don't come in to rock the boat.
Let's take a look at your numbers.
This week in real estate. You stinker, you. Should have been tapping it. I got to remember to keep tapping it. This week in real estate, there were 76 new listings come on the market, 3 commercial properties, 15 parcels of land, 58 homes came on the market. They range in price from $47,000 to $899,000. 3 of them are taking backups. There were 36 sales, 8 parcels of land, 28 homes sold. So you had 58 come on, 28 sold. 28 homes sold, ranging in price from $599,000 to $90,000. The average sale price this week was $231,000 with 79 days on market. So stuff that's ready is still going. 17 properties expired. There were 45 residential price changes. Currently, there's 497 houses on the MLS.
That's a
And
lot.
you can walk in and buy. We haven't been that high in. I mean, we're going to be over 5 by next week because they're jumping. It jumped like 20 houses from last week. So we're going from that buyer's market where people were buying stuff sight unseen, buying stuff from out of state. Oh, we'll take it. We don't care. We're in more of a buyer's market now. They're asking more. They're asking more for repairs. They're asking more just price-wise. They're saying, I don't have to pay that much because I can go buy the house down the street. And that's really what sellers have got to realize, that the market is settling down a little bit. For 2024, for year-to-date, there's been 515 homes have sold. Average sale price this year has been $243,000 with 93 days on market. That wasn't right. That was for 2024. For 2025, there's been 492 houses have sold. The average sale price is $255 with 92 days on market. And like I say, for 2024, there have been 515 homes that sold. Average sale price was $243 with 93 days on market. You can go back into COVID when COVID was going. If you go back to 21, for 21, there was 573 homes that sold. In 2022, there was 566 homes that sold, and we're at 492. So the volume isn't there as it was. Interest rates are still affecting things. We're in the high sixes, mid sixes, depending upon your credit. VA, you can get a little better. FHA's got some new programs, RD. So things like that, where you want to make sure that you can avail yourself of things that are out there. Local banks, local mortgage companies. Chris Nassari does a great job for us. You want to make sure that you're dealing with somebody that you can sit across the table.
Get pre-approved.
Get pre-approved, see where you're at, see what your situation is, and be realistic with what you're looking at, because there's a lot of houses out there. I mean, there's some good deals. You want to be part of that.
How do they get you?
You don't get me. You get Linda. You don't get guys like us. Call
Which
Linda.
is a good thing, by
Which
the
is
way.
which is a good thing. Call Linda, 870-405-0793. The website's retiredtoarkansas.net. Cameras are on 24 hours a day. You can look at the bridge at night and watch the colors change on the Cotter Bridge. But give her a call, 870-405-0793.
This has been This Week in Real Estate with Bob Zador. Pick up your phone, give them a call. Like Bob said, 870-405-0793 is their number. Retiredtoarkansas.net is their website. Bob brings a show to you each week as a community service, a customer service, but they would like for you to give them a call. If you're looking to list, give them a call. If you're looking to buy something, give Miss Linda a call. They'll be glad to help you. They've got agents that are familiar with Missouri, licensed in Missouri, to deal with your wants and needs up there. They've got some guys down in Izard County that can help you with the old Smith farm or
That's
something close
pretty
to
much,
it.
Pretty much within the sound of our voice, we can help you.
They can give you a hand. Bob and Linda Zador, the Z Team, a Century 21. Lee Mack really brings you This Week in Real Estate every Friday. We'll see you next week. We'll be back in just a moment.